All right, well, happy fucking Wednesday, City Beautiful. I am Jed Nico. This is Blacklist Society Live, your one-stop shop for music, art, community, and all things psychedelic here in Central Florida. Episode fucking 3. I'm so happy to bring Mr. Coop. The fuck is up?
What's up? Nice to be here. Pleasure.
Man,
pleasure.
welcome. It was cool how we fucking met, bro. So I'm literally handling business throughout the day. I check my DMs. I get a nice little message saying, "Hey, if you need some new music to listen to, check this shit out."
Local.
Bro, and I put that shit on and I ended up listening to one of your singles, like no lie, probably like in the 30s now, and I listened to it on the way here. So how did you find me? And how'd that interaction even play out?
I saw you had like an ad
Okay.
on Instagram, and you're just like looking for local talent, you know.
Do you remember which one it was?
It was something like, it was a weird ass ad. Bro.
Yeah.
It was a weird, I'm gonna keep it real. It was a weird ass ad. It was like a bunch of people looking at an artwork and like clapping or something. I was like, that's some weird shit. But I'm definitely
dope.
I gotta hit them up.
That's awesome.
And I was just like, yeah, I mean, I know my abilities. I feel like you'd fuck with it, so I just felt like hitting you up, seeing if you enjoyed it.
Absolutely. That ad right there was for a Blacklist artist, Agustin. He's a Spanish hip hop artist here, and I was just fucking around with some like, how can you capture the most attention in a small bit of time?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's how like things like Instagram and these different platforms work. It's based on attention. So I was like, well, it's kind of drowned out with all the rappers on top of cars, you know, with the money and the chain. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm personally in the mood for something new. So I'm always trying to find like creative ways on how to get that stuff out there. It
caught my attention. It definitely did. It definitely caught my attention. I was not expecting that. Because I didn't know what they were looking at. And they like did the whole, they started clapping to it and like looking very like opaque in the face. It was very strange.
It's mischievous.
Very mischievous.
Like, what the fuck is going on? I'll slide him a DM.
Yeah.
It's like,
whatever
check.
it is, I gotta just hit him up, see what's up with it. So that's...
Well, for those who aren't familiar with your work in Central Florida, give us a little genesis story. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're at in the music.
I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I started making music about 2 years ago, but I've been singing and playing guitar for as long as I can remember, just into making it. But it was just one day, I just felt like, you know, getting in the studio with my homie, good friend, just chop some shit up, and I was like, I'm actually not that bad at this. And
okay.
That's where I've been from there.
So with like music, when did you decide this is something this is something that I'm good at versus I want to make a music career? When was that? Because some people like to do it as a hobby, go to karaoke bars and stuff. Did you have like, was it one epiphany where you're like, damn, I want to pursue this whole?
It was one track I made. It was called Games. And that was about a year and a half ago, I guess. Or probably just a year. A good bit of time ago now. I just made that track and I was like, this is like, I want to do this forever. Like,
so last year you said around that time?
Mm-hmm. I just knew for a fact that this was something I was genuinely into. Because I was just doing it for fun. I really was just into it, you know, whatever happens, happens. But
sure,
that song was a turning point in like quality, in my opinion, and interest, without a doubt. I wanted to do that. I was very into that.
Game is that on Spotify too?
It's on SoundCloud.
It's on SoundCloud.
That's why I tried. I switched pretty much. I tried to switch since then, set everything to Spotify because SoundCloud's very oversaturated with music and it's very hard to gain someone's attention, like you were saying. So I feel like it gives someone more credibility if they're on a major platform compared to a free platform.
It's such a different time too.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was in high school, which I'm 30, so I got some years on you.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school and in that time, SoundCloud was very prevalent. SoundCloud was like the Spotify. Yeah. And so it's amazing how the game continues to change. But coming from South Carolina, what was it like growing up out there? Like, because I know on one of your songs, which song was it here? Never Should Have Met You. You mentioned 9th grade, and I fucking love that song because, you know, I'm going to have you tell the story about the song. But tell me about what was it like growing up in South Carolina? It's probably completely different than here in Florida.
It's definitely different. I mean, it's Charleston's a huge town, but it's also really small in the same time. So you really get like, there's no not meeting or seeing anybody. Like you kind of just know everybody in your area. So it's always like really everybody's business is everybody. Like, there's nothing sacred or secret. Like, everybody knows something about somebody. That's that. I mean,
love it.
it's very small, but it's a blast. If you get your good homies, you know, you can just. I have very fond memories just driving around at night with my friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Acting the fool, just having fun.
That I was driving here and I was like, one of the questions I wanted to ask, like, what did you do for fun in Charleston, like growing up? Like,
scream at people
what?
out of our cars. We used to drive downtown and just roll the windows down and just scream at people.
Just random ass shit.
Just random ass shit. Didn't matter. We just
did anybody ever get belligerent or some shit or like start chasing you?
No, never. That's the craziest part. We never. I mean, we were saying some wild shit too. It wasn't. We were just. I don't think
you got people looking for you out there. Like
maybe one day. Maybe one day. No, my car is definitely recognizable. I'm on some Facebook page or some shit for sure for acting a fool.
I bet.
My car license plate tag, some shit for sure. I don't doubt it.
So you spent high school driving around, screaming at people, and I'm assuming doing music in between all of this as well.
Yeah. I mean, music has always been a huge foundation of my life. So that was like I always had like the go-to car. Always had some subs. Always like. So everybody wanted to just hang around. We always just doing shit like that, just acting a fool.
That's awesome.
That's what made me happy, bro.
Did
just
you ever start performing out there, like in the high school time? Like did they in Charleston? Do they have open mics or things that you can perform at out there?
Nothing I was actively looking for. I'm gonna be honest. I performed one house party. My homie Keaton.
Oh, dope!
It was like his 20th birthday, and he wanted me to perform some shit. This is when I was still on SoundCloud. Before games, he just wanted me to perform some shit, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'd love to." I just had a good time. Some folk from like North Carolina brought some mics down, so I had like a whole bunch of studio equipment and shit.
How did it go? Like, did the people
it was
give
a
good
full
feedback?
House. It was a full house.
Really?
Yeah. For my performance, they dwindled out after. I was pretty much like the starter or the opener, and yeah, I mean, they loved it. I got good feedback, good videos. Still, I can still look back on a smile. It was a good time in my life for sure.
I definitely think the house party thing is gonna come back because you know how tricky it is with pandemic. You know, with venues, and we don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. I've really been thinking about this too, but like doing like mansion parties and having performers come to the mansion party, like you know, instead of your traditional venues. I think I definitely think that's gonna be a wave, and awesome. If the mansion party goes through, definitely want to have Coop on the list to set the vibes.
Hell yeah!
And that's a really good segue into Stop Playing. This single right here is the first one that I listened to. Was that the single that you sent in the DM, or was it just your profile?
I think I sent that track specifically, but I might have just sent the album, and that's the first track on the album. But that's why I put it as the first track, because I think that's the exclamation point on the album.
If nobody has heard this guy's music yet, look up Stop Playing on Spotify. Is it under Lost Coop?
Lost Coop, yes sir.
Bro, this song right here, I went as far as to dub it the R&B slow jam of the summer. That shit bro.
Thank you, bro.
That song slaps fucking hard, and it's crazy. Like, you're so young, but what I look for in the music is the feeling. Like, can I connect with it and feel? I'm a real feelings-based type person, and I could feel that chorus, bro. Like, can you tell us the story about the song?
I mean, stop playing. bitches be playing. That's it.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let's go.
I was very fed up with games. That's been a very big. That's the kind of the whole purpose of that album. All My Fault is because I'm just very shitty in relationships and maintaining them and keeping them, and that's just every song on that album is pretty much about my inability of keeping a relationship.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's from your perspective, like you stop playing.
Yeah.
Okay, because when I'm listening to it,
I'm speaking to a woman.
Okay,
I'm definitely saying stop playing. Like, I'm not staying close to your touch. I gotta rush, but I'm moving on from you.
That right there, the way you land, but I'm moving on. Like, bro, first off, your tone is fucking crazy.
Very light auto-tune.
Yeah, you could tell it, like, but there's like an elegant touch of it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's not drowned out. But you can tell there's some fucking soul in there. So with this relationship, did you ever play that song for that girl or that you're talking to? No?
No. They'll find it, though.
They'll find it.
They'll find it.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
And that's what it was. So that song right there, and I had mentioned to him yesterday. I think it would be really dope to have like a nice like EDM mix on it, like that EDM R&B feel, bro.
I'm with it,
Bro.
I'm with it. I love shit like that.
I love that.
That
And
shit
it's
is
cool too, man, because when I was listening to that song, I couldn't help but to like envision the music video behind it and like the idea behind it. Like I had envisioned like this Instagram model that I know sitting at a table with you and a camera shot spinning and both of you like going line after line, like kind of singing it to each other.
Cool.
Just as an idea.
Yeah.
But like the music invokes like an image. And I think that's when you know the music is powerful. One, if you could feel it, it's another level if you can see it, because that's an attribute to your songwriting skills. Where'd your songwriting skills come from? Like,
I mean, nothing I've ever created or done has been really forced. Like, it's very, very fluid in how I write and what I do. So it's really like I just take it from the heart. I absorb music. Like I listen to so much shit. Like and I think what did it was I was listening to a whole lot of Frank Ocean, but at the same time, I was listening to like folk like Bob Dylan as shit. So I their songwriting like really wanted me to implement, like passionate meaning shit behind my words, like, and kind of hone in that type of storytelling and meaning behind what I had to say.
Bob Dylan. I think you're the first 19-year-old I know that fucks with Bob Dylan. That's awesome. He had, you could feel that spirit on his music too, man. And I think that you sharing that. So you never had any like songwriting training, or did you do voice training as well growing up?
I had a choir teacher.
Nice.
So whatever, I just kind of took what I could get from how to enunciate shit properly. But other than that, no, I've never had like songwriting or anything like that.
I did choir too. Were you a alto, soprano?
I was a tenor.
Tenor.
Yeah.
Man, that's dope.
I was a tenor. Always, yeah. I think I did take a lot from that because I was like 7th to 9th grade. Then 9th grade, I was like, I want to hit some fuckers, play football.
Nice.
So I kind of just changed. I just changed directions a bit, and I think that was a building ground for sure of how I maintained and got the voice I have today for sure.
So to this day, no voice, no vocal training. Wow. That's fucking dope, bro.
Thank you.
That's like, do you think that you fall under the category of being just like naturally like gifted, or is it something that you literally go home and you just spend insane amounts of time working on your voice?
Well, I think like my father is a great singer. I think my mother is a great singer, but she doesn't sing much. But I know she got a good voice, and my sister has a good voice too.
Oh, true.
I think it really is like it's a bit of both because I really do. I practice guitar and singing. Like I sing shit. I try and sing for at least an hour, 2 hours a day for sure.
Okay, so you put in your reps. Absolutely. It's not just like, hey, I woke up like, stop playing.
I work for sure. I think that's what makes shit good is if you got to work your ass off. If you're not, you're wasting your time, especially right now.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing shit.
Not at all.
So I mean,
besides this,
yeah, you're wasting your time if you're not working your ass off. I'm a firm believer in that. No doubt.
Where did the guitar come into picture? Like, was that before singing, after, during, like?
After singing for sure. I picked that up. I want to say the beginning of freshman year, or like the summer going into freshman year.
Okay.
My dad had a guitar, and I was like, "Can I just play some shit?" That summer, I've just been progressing since then.
That's fun.
No teaching there either. That's all. I'm self-taught.
With the guitar too.
Mm-hmm.
Like YouTube videos type deal?
YouTube videos for sure. Yeah, that's helped a ton.
That's how our generation learns, man. YouTube videos. Like, you could do anything. How to change my oil. How to pick up a girl.
I wouldn't use that advice.
YouTube's not a good spot to pick up a girl advice?
I don't think. I wouldn't take that advice. You just got to have game.
You said you just got to have the game.
You got to learn.
You mentioned your dad and your sister singing. Have you ever thought about doing like a track with your sister, your father?
I definitely want to work with my dad.
Yeah?
My dad's very like country as shit when it comes to singing. I think that'd be funny to work with something like that.
Have you chopped it up with him about that?
Yeah.
Okay,
We've definitely talked about wanting to make some shit for sure.
Dad, if you're listening, We need you to come to the studio, come to Florida, lay down something with your son. I think that would be
It's gonna
awesome,
happen.
bro.
It's gonna happen.
Speak it into existence.
It's gonna happen.
Now, from Charleston, South Carolina, you came to Florida. You're a student at Full Sail.
Yes.
Now, obviously, I mean, me growing up in Orlando, Full Sail is huge. So, you know, we know about it. How did you hear about Full Sail in Charleston? Or, like, what, out of all the schools in Florida, I mean, in America, what made you choose Full Sail?
Well, it really went down to, like, I went to go tour, University of South Carolina.
Nice.
And I was just like, this is not what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be a fucking engineer or be something, like, super basic. I just knew that. So I told my parents that, and they were supportive. We just looked at new schools, like,
They didn't have any music program over there?
If they did, I didn't want to be with the same people I knew.
You needed to break out a little bit.
I needed to go see some new shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I'm not a big. I've never been a big, like, stayer, been comfortable in one area.
Okay.
I've always been switching because I changed middle schools to a completely different high school.
Oh, yeah.
Completely new people, just a new area type deal. I loved it, and I kind of got in that same situation again going into college. I was like, about to be with the same people again. I can't. I gotta go. I gotta see some new things.
It's like, man, I need to change, or else I'm gonna go insane.
Yeah, that's how I get like that. I just have to go see new things, and I was just looking at music related things, and I was like, studio engineer is something that seems badass. I would love to be able to mix my own things, but especially help create other music. That shit's incredible to me too. So anything of that nature, I just knew. So we just did some googling, saw Full Sail, Orlando. I was like, cool area. Fuck it now.
Have you been to the city previously to ever even hearing about Full Sail? You ever visit Florida at all? Or?
Yeah, I got some family or not family, really good family friends in Melbourne, Cocoa Beach area.
Yeah, West Coast Florida. I mean, East
East Coast.
Florida,
and then
the beach.
I knew I loved Florida, and it's a very beautiful area. I love vibe. I catch the vibe, so I was like, gotta come down, try it out for 2 years, see where it takes me.
Absolutely.
That's how I'm feeling.
You came. We had talked about this. You came at such a strange time. I mean, we have the pandemic going on, the whole social injustice thing going on. Did you get to actually? What was your most favorite experience in the city, leading up into the pandemic?
I had a really good night at the club with some friends.
Our nightlife, bro, it's so fucking underrated.
It was really. We had a
Which
good
club
time.
was it?
It was at Knight's Library.
Okay. Oh,
It was
over by
the
UCF.
student one, yeah. It was a student club.
On University Boulevard, I believe.
Yeah, that was a fun night. We had a good time. Or was it Knights? It was neither Knight's Library or pub. We might have went to
They're
both
all in
of them.
that same little club.
Might have went to both. I don't remember very good, but but very, very well. But I mean, I had a great time.
He's 22. Relax.
I'm some age. I'm some age. But it either goes down to having a good club night or just making my last album, Chaotic Good, with my boy Carson.
Okay.
I had a really good time.
Also a
that.
Full Sail student?
Yeah, he's in music business.
Oh, nice.
But I just heard his beats and I was like, we need to do something. And that's what we just cooked up that entire album. It's very fun. I have very fond memories of making that track or that album. That shit was awesome.
And that was just like in his home studio?
In his home, yeah. In his apartment. We just cooked up 7 tracks, did it all. Had a blast. I loved it.
That's one of the things, like, actually when I was 18, I got accepted to Full Sail, but I didn't go. I ended up doing a ministry school because I just needed a change in my life. So I always thought about what it was like. But I've been on the campus multiple times, had chances to party with people out there. And the thing that I really like is the community. You know, you're surrounded by people who are working on their craft. I mean, your friends in music business, have you guys ever chopped it up like, him managing you type deal or thoughts of the future type shit?
Probably. I mean, maybe later down the line, but we're just
still early.
We're just focusing on, making some shit. That's just the best part. We're just creators. We just like to create.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I fuck with that. Tell me about Full Sail now. Like, what's it like now with the whole pandemic?
Online, and some more online classes. For me, that's all for the past, feels like 6 months. I don't know how, it's probably been like 4, but it feels like I've just been looking at a screen for
God damn
a while. and it sucks. I'm a very hands-on type
For sure.
of person, so it has been a pain in my ass, to say the least. To say the least, it has been a pain.
How much time, like on an average day of school, how much time are you in front of that computer?
For school-related activities,
Yeah.
not as much as I should.
Hey, that's fair. That's respectable.
I couldn't even number it. I watch. I'm supposed to watch lectures and stuff. So I bet I could be doing about 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
But I bet you it's around 1 to 2.
Realistically, around 1 to 2.
Yeah.
And then some songwriting in there.
Oh, most definitely.
That's
Always
dope.
got time for that.
I can't. So 3 to 4 hours in front of a computer. You just moved here from another state. Pandemic and lockdown happens. You're probably like, what the fuck is going on? Because you know, I mean, I'm 30. I've never seen anything like this. You're 19. I'm I'm confident you've never seen anything like a pandemic like this, like lockdown. Did you get freaked out? Like, you know, you're here in Florida. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'm very appreciative of it though.
For sure.
Because it's I mean, I can't be like appreciative, but it gives me a lot of time to work on my music and my craft, and I just have been I wrote most of all my fault during pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, that's all. The past four. I want to do 3 EPs a year. From now,
Excellent.
that's my like goal until I'm like find the right ears or sound or manager type deal. But like I definitely want to just constantly be creating music. So I mean, ever since I dropped Chaotic Good, so February, I wrote All My Fault and finished it. So it's given me a whole lot of time to just work and practice my craft. Yeah. Valentine's Day, I dropped Chaotic Good.
That's awesome. That's strategic. With All My Fault, how long did you say that it took you to write, to record, finish, get it on Spotify, you think?
I took a good month break. So I'd say from March, I don't even remember when I dropped All My Fault now. So yeah, March to June, it was done.
Okay. That's awesome.
March to June, it was done because I think I released it in July.
Yeah.
So
right when everything went to shit, you went into the closet, start writing. Man, that's fucking dope, man. Before pandemic, I was a sales professional selling vacations, and one of the top guys, he told me, he's like, this pandemic's gonna be a blessing. He's like, if you don't come out of this pandemic with your CD or with your podcast, if you don't come out like losing weight or just accomplishing whatever the fuck it is you want to do out here, he's like, you're cheating yourself. And that impacted me. I'm like, wow, like this time, as crazy, as hectic as it is, it's a beautiful time to really go deep in your craft, really go deep in these relationships. I think that's very important, especially in the industry that we're in, developing those relationships.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to have you come on and just chop it up, get to know you, have the people get to know your work, because it's bro, and honestly, I think you're such a cool addition to the city, and I'm glad that, I love South Carolina, but I'm glad that you came out here to Florida, so we got good representation.
In South Carolina, I love the state.
Sure.
But like anybody who's ever been anything from South Carolina, you gotta leave.
Really?
You gotta go. Charlamagne the God.
Woo.
You think he popped up out of South Carolina?
I've always wondered. I was like, man, how did that happen?
You gotta go.
He left.
You just gotta go.
It's a good place to live, but sometimes you just gotta go.
You gotta see some more things. You gotta meet some more people. There's a lot of people want to have that money and hold it. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of investing like there is in West Coast or places down here where people want to see people, like they want to see some money return type deal. That doesn't happen. They got their money and they're keeping it until they die at 90 or whatever. So that's how I see it. I mean,
it's a very big tourist spot too. Like we had talked about, selling vacations. It was Charleston, the historic district out there. It was Myrtle Beach. Tell me a little bit about Myrtle Beach. Your thoughts on that?
Myrtle Beach is a cool city for tourism.
Yeah.
From Charleston, where I'm from, it's Dirty Myrtle. It's dirty water, dirty women.
That could be a good thing.
Dirty whatever you're into.
If
you're into dirty women, dirty water. Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Y'all got some good food out there as well.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Some of the best barbecue in the world, I hear.
No doubt. No doubt.
You got the fishing out there by the coast.
Yes. I'm talking that soul food, Geechee, Gullah food. That culture is, you get some of the best culture and people from Geechee and Gullah people, most definitely.
Out there, do you guys have a food truck scene? Like here in Orlando, it's very prevalent from Orlando to Kissimmee. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that happen because of pandemic. Like, I like that vibe, where people can get what they need to go. They're not inside. They don't need to have a mask on. Yeah. Food truck and go. Do you guys have that out there as well? Or?
It's growing. It was like, I went to my first food truck in the midst of the pandemic.
Out here?
In Charleston.
Okay, gotcha.
And I mean, it's never been really big, but I definitely have seen like more food trucks pop up around the city for sure.
You fuck with it?
Oh, I love it. I think that's a good ass food on the go. It's restaurant quality food on the go. You can't go wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. It's huge here in Orlando. Like I said, every other Tuesday, and for everybody in the city who doesn't know this, I don't know if it's still going on, but every other Tuesday in a month we have what's called Tasty Tuesdays. Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Tasty Tuesday. Have you heard of it, Tommy? Yeah, man. So literally there's a milk district in Orlando where the T.G. Lee Milk Factory is. Right next to it is a street of bars. So behind this street of bars, you have 15 to 20 food trucks that come on a Tuesday. And they let you food truck hop. You can grab drinks from the bar. They put out benches for the community just to fucking kick it, listen to live music. You can buy lobster nachos here, a Hawaiian hot dog over there, a chicken and waffle sandwich here, bro. And you just go in.
That sounds like a dangerous situation.
Bro.
Sounds like
if that's still, you got to let me take you to a Tasty Tuesdays. You, Tommy, we got to have a squad, we need to have a Blacklist night where the community just comes out. Let's food truck hop and just, feel normal a little bit in the situation. But hopefully you be down to come kick it during that time, man.
Of course.
What's in the works right now? What can we expect for, the months coming on into when we wrap up the 2020, this crazy-ass 2020 in December? What can we expect from Lost Coop?
I'm hoping another album by the end of December. Maybe
you got
November.
Songs cooking already?
Yeah, I already have 2 tracks finished.
Okay.
I got a lot in the works. I'm trying to aim for another 7-track EP. Whatever happens. But I'm trying to get this work, get this, money.
Absolutely.
Can't go wrong.
Do you have a theme for this next album, or is that still coming together organically for you?
It's still, pushing. I'm still figuring it out, trying to get it each day, each time. Yeah, each time I write a song, that's kind of how I figure it out. The more songs that get curated and finished, I'm like, I kind of get the vibe that I'm going for and how to name it and what to do with it.
Absolutely. Do you, with your sound, is there any influences like that you look for, like whether it's your sound, your flow, which you got an amazing flow too, like you do like teeter that line with that singing, rapping, like that Post Malone type tone in there as well. Like, what are some of the influences that you look for? Like, if you're stuck, or I don't know if you get stuck or have writer's block, like, what are your creative influences that you tune on, listen to an album, get some creative sparks going?
I think, yeah, my biggest influence in what I do is I don't really try like listening to playlists. I'm more listening to albums.
Okay.
More specifically, I go for older stuff because there's a lot of great new music, but I feel like there's untouched things that like the very popular music has like very common themes, but I want to get older themes into my music to bring it almost like a rebirth. That's what I want to like hear something fresh or hear something that's like different and not all the same.
That's I fucking love that too, because you're 19 and you think that way. Like I said, you blew me away with the Bob Dylan reference there, but because you're 19, you're like this unique bridge between the older community and the younger. Like, I think how many high schoolers would be into your music, but how many other older people would be into your music just because you have that deep soul type of vibe going on. So
I mean, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want everybody. I don't want it to be a specific person I'm going for. I want just people to enjoy it. That's all I really care about. Just people enjoying in the sound.
Absolutely.
That's it.
If you had it your way, who is the artist top 3 artists you would collab with?
All time,
Yeah.
number one is Frank Ocean.
Nice.
I think Childish Gambino is a sleeper in the music game, but he's definitely up there for sure. Second, and the third would probably be
They're listening.
collectively Pink Floyd.
Woo!
I think
Shout out to Dark Side of the Moon on
they're
that.
geniuses.
That's awesome,
And
bro.
they're synthesizing and how they just curated their sound and shit is
Absolutely.
incredible.
Do you get your sense of music from your father? Because I'm thinking like I'm assuming your father maybe listens to Pink Floyd, or is it your family? Like,
I I've been very fortunate and blessed. My dad was a big they loved like not heavy metal, but definitely loved like rock music in the early 2000s when I was growing up. Like they said, I used to have they have photos of me putting in like the Toxicity System of the Down album into the damn CD player, putting on headphones.
that was good too.
That's still a favorite of mine for sure. They got really good tracks on that album. But I mean, they just listen to good music.
Nice.
They just surrounded me with good sounds. Let me get a computer at a young age so I can get my hands on more music, listen to more stuff. I think I was just very blessed in having supportive parents who were just into music like I was, and just because they were never very musical. Like they work normal jobs, do normal things. My dad barely plays guitar. Or he plays. He's a good player. He's gonna be hurt. I said that, but he plays guitar.
But it's not like his career.
Yeah,
it's not like what he does.
Yeah,
his
it's
bread
not
and
what he
butter.
does. Yeah. So I've just been very fortunate. They're just supportive of what I have to do. And they just are into good things, good sounds.
Listen, man, support from your parents, that's fucking huge, man. Like, I didn't necessarily get that growing up. Like, when I did, like, my talent show when I was, like, 14 in, like, high school. And I made my first record label. It was called Empire. And I knew when I was 13, 14 that I wanted to just fuck with music. But my parents, being from a third world country, I'm Filipino. So, like, coming to America, it was like college. You got to be a doctor or like a lawyer. Like, it was very much education based. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really pay attention to what my heart was like really yearning for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that makes it tremendously difficult for people. You know what I'm saying? Because they're completely different paths. Like, your path should be your own. And what I like about you, and you could hear it in your music, is like you have a sense of you. There is a sense of you. There is a sense of your path. There's a sense of what you want to say. And just get in this little time of getting to know you, I can definitely say that having supportive parents is probably one of the number one things of why you're doing so well and where you're at right now. So
thank you, Mom and Dad.
Dude, thanks to Mom and Dad. Hopefully we can have more supportive parents. Like, I have a 6-year-old, I have a 3-year-old going on 4. And when I hear stories like that, it's just a good reminder to support your kids. Like my daughter, shout outs to my daughter watching this here. She wants to do a YouTube channel, making slime. You know what I'm saying? And I've been procrastinating on that. But hearing this, I'm like, man, it's a good reminder to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, engaging with the kids, supporting their dreams, and that's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That's something that you cannot replace. What do you have any advice to the artists out here who are doing the same exact thing as you? Either whether they're in Full Sail, whether they're in First, just artists out here trying to work on their stuff and get it out to the world. What's your thoughts on that? Any advice you can get to the art community out here?
Just work. Just like practice.
Yeah.
You don't have to practice for anybody other than yourself. Like, if you're not doing it for yourself, then like I don't see the point in doing it. I don't understand the point in doing it. I think you should. There's so many ways to get your name out there other than just commenting like, hey, look at my song on SoundCloud and link. Like, that's completely the wrong way to do it. You just have to connect with people. Actually make shit that means something and means something to yourself, and not just like mindless sound.
Absolutely.
It has to be from your heart. Yeah, it has to mean something, and that's it's passion. You have to just care and work. That's my advice. That's the only thing I've ever done. That's the only advice I could give.
You're definitely an old soul, bro. Because I don't know too many 19-year-olds, much less 30-year-olds, who think about the music in that way. And I don't know if you struggled with that, but like in Orlando growing up, I did the open mic scene. My friend, shout out to Sean Welcome. He started an open mic in 2006 up until all the way up until pandemic. So like fucking 14 years. And going to open mic, hearing poets, hearing singers talk about shit that really meant something to them, and not just, I don't know if you struggled with this part, but sometimes the songs that I would make were just to get listeners or to fit in the crowd, versus something that really meant something to you. Like there's almost this pressure, like, oh, you got to make a club hit, because that's what's gonna make you pop, versus the song where you're talking about getting fucked up as a kid, and how hard that was for you to go through. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever struggle with that, like making a pop hit or making a hit to blow?
I think I definitely, that was my issue as I started making music. Like it was just more of like, how can I make something that like will get me famous, or like how can I make something that people will really like, or I can get everybody to listen to. But the second I just really cared about doing it for the love of it, that's what it changed everything for me personally. Like
where was that transition to where you're like, yo, fuck what everybody else thinks, like I gotta get this song out from me? Like, where'd you find that transition?
It was just a deep, like this song, that's what it didn't do very well, like, and that's fine. I didn't give a fuck. I still don't care. I can't remember the damn name of the song. Nevertheless, I mean, it was from the heart, and I meant it, and I knew, like, I was like, this feels so much fucking better, and I'm so like more yearning to put this somewhere other than like what I've done previously. And so I just felt that, like, I felt that need for people to like enjoy it. Like I think that was like, I think a lot of people could get something from this, and that's just how I felt with it.
I fuck with that, man. I hope you stay true to that format, because what did it for me was about 2 years ago at an open mic session, listening to a spoken word artist, and like I just had this epiphany that I was like, man, I want to make music. I want to make music an opportunity for me to share my truth. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happened, and I so appreciate the open mic scene, because that's what it's about. Like, it's an opportunity. We had comics go up, singers, rappers, spoken word artists, and it was just an opportunity to share your honest truth, bro. And in this culture, when everybody's caught up on Instagram and Twitter for all the wrong reasons, or even all the right reasons, there's an unnecessary need to be more glamorous, or to be something that you're not, because because this person is, or that's how we floss out here. And I think it distracts so much from the art. So it's really encouraging to me to hear you say, just work, man, and work on it for you and for nobody else.
I mean, I really feel like if I never become like a superstar or successful, I mean, I don't really give a shit. I'm just doing it, just like, I'm really,
bro.
I'm just, I just love music. I love listening. Like, if without music, I am nothing. And I'm like such a strong believer that I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
I play some video games. That's like,
okay.
Like, damn, fucking music is like my shit.
Okay.
And it's very like everything.
That's your air supply right there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I just need that in my life. So I'm just glad to be creating sounds for people to enjoy.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I hope everybody gets. Like, if you got one thing from this podcast, it's, man, do it for yourself. Don't do it just to blow up. And if your shit is good enough, it will blow. It'll rock. Cream rises to the top. You know what I'm saying? I remember Drake saying this at an interview. He said people have literally full-time jobs, working 40 hours a week, listening to SoundCloud and Spotify, just looking for the next person.
Yeah.
There's whole teams of people searching for it. So it's like, if you focus on the music and doing it for yourself and getting better at your craft for you, that shit's gonna rise to the top. Not only is it gonna rise to the top, but it's gonna last. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Orlando, we don't really have any Orlando anthems or anybody that really blew up and stayed there because like it was like the one hit wonders. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But when you work and pay attention to what you're saying, if it's real, if the people can feel it, if you can feel it, I think music spreads faster than the disease. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
most definitely.
And yeah, so if you're out there listening, I hope that you can take away that thing. Just work on the music for yourself, and don't get distracted out here. Don't try to sound like people. You know.
Major flaw. I
Oh
hear
my
that all the
gosh.
time. All the time. People trying to be sound like I'm like I've heard this shit. I know
Yeah.
who this is. Like without even like I hear the nuances and sometimes like people are trying to like emulate a sound. That's just like it's very clear that that's not genuine.
Mm. And that's why I like it too. Like you have that balance between like bars and content and your sound. Like it's unique. Like it's dope. Like I can't say that I've heard anybody in the city like that, or
Thank
even
you.
out right now. I'm a lover of music as well. Like music's everything, man. I remember Hitler said this thing. He said, "Show me who's controlling the music. I'll show you who's controlling the world." And at the time, it was the Beatles. He just believed that whoever was it at that time just had so much sway. And I think that's and where we're at right now, especially like with social injustice. I think as artists, we definitely need to be more thoughtful of the message and the vibes that we're putting out. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I I'm one of the people that I feel like music can change the community, and if you just put the good vibes out there, that the community can start to change. Bob Marley said it himself. You know, like if you can inject the community with music and love, it would
No,
change. It would revolutionize it.
most definitely.
So I
Most
appreciate you
definitely.
putting out music that people can vibe with. It's not on some fuck shit. It's you know, I just get a really good feeling when I'm listening to you.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
And
you. I
I
appreciate that.
definitely appreciate that. So we got one more EP to expect out of you
By the
from
end of the
between
year,
2020. We're gonna hold you to it.
hey, it's coming. It's
Do you have any features
trains
coming
are
up
brewing.
on them?
Never no features.
Never no features.
Never no features.
This one is for him. This is
It's
for Coop.
always yeah.
Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at Lost Coop. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, all Lost Coop. I'm pretty much the same guy everywhere. It's Lost Coop on all platforms. I'm very easy to find,
I meant to
easy to
ask you about that
contact.
real quick. How'd you get the Lost?
So it's when I first started my Spotify and Apple Music. Like nobody could find me because there were so many Coops. Like I was just Coop, and nobody could ever like find. They had to search like a certain name, and I was like, I want you to be able to find me immediately. So Lost Coop.
you
Lost
just
Coop.
you just pulled that one out.
I really do remember it. I was walking to like my next class in high school, and I just like kind of pulled out my phone, and I was like, I wanted to see if that name like was taken, and it wasn't. So I was like, that looks fucking cool. I'm sure I'm Lost Coop.
That's
And
awesome.
I think it fits me a lot too. Like I'm definitely like not comfortable. Like I'm a very like anxiety ridden person.
For real?
I'm not perfect. Yeah, most definitely.
Really?
That's a lot of
when
that's
I
built.
first like even just seeing you pull up to the studio and like hearing you on the phone, like and the vibes right now, like I just get so chill.
Oh yeah.
So, but like it's cool that you say anxiety is something that you deal with. A lot of
Oh,
people don't talk about that. That's cool.
I got no issue. Nobody's perfect. I'm
Mm.
not perfect. I deal with a lot of shit and it's all in my head. I know it's all in my head. That's why I've always been able to just control that and be really open, and I think that's why I'm so open and so like confident because like everybody deals with shit, but you gotta be cool. Gotta be happy.
I love that though.
That's,
I love that I don't get that sense from you. Like, hey, I gotta I gotta be something that I'm not. Like you seem very comfortable with you. I
Mhm.
fuck with that so much, bro.
I appreciate that.
That's dope. That's dope. How we looking on time?
40, bro. 44 now.
44 now. Well, I can say that I was definitely encouraged from you, and I'll say something to you, just as like an older brother that I say to my daughters every time I see them, and I say it fully convinced you can do anything, and I hope that you walk away with that. I hope you stay focused, bro. You're at such an amazing time. Like fuck all the other fuck shit, the distractions, bro. You can do this shit. Stay focused. I hope Charleston's fucking proud of you. This guy right here, what the fuck? As soon as I heard him, I'm like, I gotta make contact. I think I contacted you like immediately after I listened to it. So Charleston, stand the fuck up. Orlando, follow this guy. Follow us on Blacklist. We're at Instagram, Black BLCK List Society, and look out for him. Look out for Coop. And you guys be blessed, be safe. Most importantly, be you. Thank you so much, man. Bro, I didn't even know we went out to the 40 on 4.